Hello, thank you so much for joining me, and today we're going to be doing crafts with mudlarking finds. Right, okay, so for today's Christmas craft, I was thinking maybe some sort of centerpiece. So I've got a few different domes here, and I'm going to choose one and a stand for it to go on. So let's have a look at what we've got. I've got this dome here. It has a little light in the bottom like that. I quite like that one, but I'm not sure it's going to be big enough. So just let me move my phone. And then we've got this round one here. It's like a snow globe type. You can fill it like a snow globe. It's got a little stopper in it. I've got this big one here, and I remember I got this one from so this one was from IKEA. This one was from Hobbycraft, and I think that one was from Hobbycraft. And this also was from Hobbycraft. This little one, which I've used that in a previous video. And I've got these that were sent to me, like a little bauble globe thing. And I've also got some miniature ones, which are no good for a centerpiece, but I'll show you anyway. You've seen before because I've made little fairies out of them. Little dome, big dome, little base, and also one of these with a metal top, little round one. So I think I'm going to choose this because I've decided what I want to go in my dome, and what I want to go in my dome is this Victorian bird here. Sorry, okay, just to show you, Victorian bird. I thought that would go nice in the centerpiece, and I'm going to make it Christmassy. So let me just move these out of the way 1 second. Oops. Move these domes out of the way that we're not going to use. Right, let's freeze the table up now to have this dome. Now, I don't know if you remember in video in November, I think it was, I found 2 pedestals. I found this pedestal here with a bit of a wedge of the bottom of whatever was on it still on top, but that should be easy to cover or just take off. Okay, and I also found this one. Okay, so this stand is one that I'm going to use. I've already glued a circle of wood onto it. I've glued it on because I've glued it with E6000, a very, very tough, strong glue, but that I wanted to leave that a couple of days to dry. So I've glued that on there, and it's now a couple of days later, and it's absolutely solid because my plan is so we have that glass base. I want to paint it glass base with the wooden bit on there so that we can sit our dome on top. I want that painted. I don't want it left clear. Obviously, we're going to put the bird inside like so, and I'm thinking some sort of Christmas foliage. So we have this foliage like we used last time. This one, a bit paler. We could use a mix of everything, couldn't we? It just depends what we can fit inside the dome. So we've got this one, we've got these little ones. We can either chop these up and use the bell and use the cones, or use it as it is. I've got a few of those, quite a few of those. I've also got fir cones, but I'm feeling these are just a little bit too big. I've only got big ones of those. I've got some of the ribbon that we used on the little dome. We've got some pipe stems, and we've got some little doorknobs. I'm thinking making little mushrooms to stick in the front, just to sort of, I know it's not very Christmassy, but mushrooms with the foliage. I just thought it'd be a nice little touch and a way to use these. We could always put a stem on it or something, but yeah, I think we could turn those into little mushrooms maybe as a little bit of a decoration. I do have Christmas trees as well, and bells and all sorts of things. So first of all, what I'm going to do, because I can't do it here in front of the camera because it's a spray, I'm just going to undercoat this, then I can come back and paint it. I'm going to paint it by hand, and I'm going to paint it using my favourite paint that we use for everything so that it all matches, which is the chalk paint, which is the Rust-Oleum chalky finish furniture paint. Okay, this is a matte paint which I used on the cupboard and several things. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this an undercoat. I'm going to leave it to dry, and I'll come back up and we'll make a start on the dome, because I think this is going to be quite a simple thing to put together. Right, but it's just the waiting time for that. So yeah, let me just go and paint that, and I shall be back shortly. Okay, right, I've sprayed this now. Just gave it a coat of primer. Just car primer, white car primer. That's all I need. It's not the final coat, it's just the base coat for before I paint it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is think about this. And what I think I want to do with this is I want to put clay on the base, and then whatever foliage I choose, I want to stick it on. But first of all, I want to make sure my foliage looks a little bit more Christmassy. So I will do what I did in the last video, which was a bit of glue on here and a little sprinkle of snow, this fake snow onto it, just to make it a little bit more Christmassy, because it is supposed to be a Christmas centerpiece. But you could do the same thing for when it's not Christmas and just don't add the snow, that sort of thing. Right, okay, so I want some glue, sorry, excuse me, just let me lean forward to get my glue. I'm going to use tacky glue and a brush. This brush will do. So first of all, let's pick a few leaves. Let's move my clay out of the way. Give you a little bit of room to see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got one. What I did was I got this and I sort of measured so that it did fit inside the dome. So don't forget, you must do it so that it will fit inside the dome. Otherwise, that's where you'll have problems when you can't all fit it together. So I know that it needs to be that big or a little bit smaller. So I think I will cut a few at different lengths. I'm just using my, whatever they are. I use it for bending the wire. I don't know what they are. Somebody gave me them. Someone sent me them in a load of craft stuff. So whatever they are. So there is a bit on there that cuts wire. So maybe have one big one and then a little one either side. Oh, do we need some more? Yeah. Look, I've got another one there. I do have a bag full, but as per usual, it's not right next to me. Okay, so I'm going to do another one, similar sort of size. Okay, so I've got one tall one, two little ones. Even if we don't use them, it doesn't matter, but I'll show you what we can do. I'm going to have a couple of sprigs of this because, and I've got some lights as well, just because I like the contrast of the colour. So let's have a look. We don't want it too big, do we? We can always make it smaller, but I'll just cut a few little sprigs of this just to add something, a different colour to it. We have got these as well, don't forget, I might add one or two of those. Right, so let's clear the decks a little bit, make sure you can see what I'm doing. Move the bird away. Right, I'm just going to add some glue to these ones and then add some snow. In fact, I'll put the snow into there. Then I can just dip them in. Dip them in there and it'll cover. So, is that right? Okay, so let's get some glue on these. as per usual, running out of glue and stuff. Sorry, just let me scrape away some of this glue at the top, which seems to have decided to set. Okay, get me a piece of paper. Yeah, that's what happens to all my glue, isn't it? When it's a long time between using it, it all seems to set. Okay, right, let's get some up there. I like the tacky glue. It dries quickly and it's not too thin, as you can see. It's not too thin. It's usually a bit thinner than this. Okay, let's see how we go with that. Okay, let's see what that does to it. Just dip it in like that. Tap it on the side. There you go. Lovely. Covered in snow. Let's get some more of this glue. I think I should buy some more. It's all dried up a little bit, but still usable. Okay, and on the other side. So put glue on that. Popped it in the fake snow. You get this fake snow from lots of little hobby shops or maybe eBay or Amazon as well. Okay, ping it. There we go, another one full of snow. Just give me a second, let's just see that I'm working in the right area. Okay, right, you can't see me there. You see me there, okay. Sorry, we've had to move a few things around on here, so I just have to check to make sure you can see me. Don't forget, we're not the BBC, we're not a television company. I don't have a crew of people in here helping me and filming me, so I very much appreciate your patience while you watch me craft. Your appreciation around the technical issues that I have. Okay, right, we've got glue on both sides of that one. Pop it in just like before. Give it a good tap. There you go. I wonder if I've got one that isn't. I don't think I've got one to show you now that isn't covered in green. Oh, that. If you remember, it was really quite green and boring. We just had a bit of fake snow and it really brings it into the Christmas spirit, doesn't it? Okay, so let's see. Should we put a bit of snow on these, do you think? I don't think these need it because these are a little bit lighter. I don't think everything has to have snow on. So these 3 little bits like this, I'm not going to put the snow on. I'm going to leave them as they are. And I'm also not going to put the snow on these because these are Christmassy enough with the bells. The bells bring the Christmassy to that sprig. So just on there, I think. So let's move that out of the way. Let's put the lid on this and really should invest in some more tacky glue. Okay, let's pop that out of the way. Right, what have we got? Now we need to put it together in this dome. Okay, and I want to use clay. So I'm going to use one of my main go-to clays, which is DAS, D-A-S. DAS is cheap. Right, you can get it in a terracotta and you can get it in a white or a grey, I think. DAS comes in a big pack like that, so it was quite a big pack, this. Ooh, and it was £4. Okay, so not a lot of money at all. It's air dry, and as long as you fasten it up, it lasts. It goes a very long way, this stuff. You don't have to be too skimpy with it. And it does colour your hands a bit white, like the likes of the Milliput. So it's no better in that regard. Right, so what I want to do is I want to cover this base in the clay, and I want to stick stuff into it and maybe give it some sort of texture, maybe. Right, I don't know if this will stick to this. When it's dried, if it hasn't stuck to it, I'm quite prepared. And I know I might have to glue this back onto it. Okay. But for now, I'm going to make it on this base. But because I haven't done this before on wood, I have no idea. Just make sure that the dome can go on it. I have no idea if it will stick to it or I'm going to have to glue it. But we will make it in situ on the dome, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm just putting this clay on the base. I'm going to build it up or whatever, because I can't quite figure out what that bird is sat on. I don't know whether to do the floor as like, yeah, you know, because I'm going to put mushrooms on it. I think I might do the floor looking like it's either grass or, I don't know, whatever. Grass or soil or something, I don't know. Right, there we go. But if this did overhang and I couldn't get the jar on, the dome, I could always sand it. I could sand it all the way around until it fit. Because don't forget, this is a sandable clay. Right, it doesn't have to be neat because I'm going to be doing stuff to it. Right, so first of all, just for now, I'm just going to place the bird in it. I need to make a little bit of room at the back for this bird. Sorry, let me just... Right, can you see? Okay, well, I think my camera up above is moving slightly, so I'm going to place the camera at the front. Right, okay, so I'm just going to place this on here for now. Just give it a little bit so you know where it's going to go. I'm going to pop this dome over. Right, so far everything fits nicely. The beak's not getting in the way. That's fine, so I know that that can go there. Okay, right, now let's think about building this up. We'll have the tallest one, which is that one, okay, that one. We'll have the tallest one at the back. Into the clay, give it a bit of a squeeze. Then we will have this one at the side. Then this other little one at the side like that. Okay. Just going to push the clay onto it. Okay, so just turn it around for you to see, like that. I think you can see that. I'm just going to lift it up, bring it slightly closer to you. You get the idea? Okay. Dome, we can squeeze that in to get it in the dome anyway. We're okay there. Let's push that clay up to it. I can already feel it drying a little. Right, now let's add a little bit of the lighter colour to it, I think. So I'm just going to pop that. I'll bring it round to show you in a second. Shall we? Just going to take off these bottom two leaves 1 second, just because they're going to get in the way at the back. So I'm just going to cut off those two leaves at the bottom, just to give it a bit longer there, because it was just getting in the way because it's a tight squeeze in the back. Okay. Okay, right, so let's turn that around with a little bit of light colour. Okay. Right, have we got room for this and maybe a mushroom? You know what, I really would like to make room for the mushroom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see if I can pop that on there, just to keep those in place while they're drying. In fact, no, it might be just, I can do that when it's dry, can't I? Right, I'm just going to press the clay onto there. They can dry. Okay, I'm going to leave that to dry. Leave it over there to dry. And then I'm going to start painting these mushrooms. Right, so I need something to put my paint on, which is this here. Let's just fold up this clay, 1 second. In the cling film, then in a bag. I'll put that to one side. Okay, let's get some paint. So I'll paint the whole thing. We'll make them both just in case. I shall paint the whole thing in a light colour. And in this case, it's just sand beige. This is just acrylic paint and it's sand beige. I'm just going to put some paint in there. Sand beige. Paintbrush. And I'm pointing out the obvious here. Right, paintbrush. And I'm just painting it. Okay, simple as that. Just giving it an all over base coat. Something to start with. Oops. I'm gonna put it on a piece of paper to dry. There. Okay, just a base coat. Oops. Okay, and then this one, I'll do this one as well, just in case. I could have sprayed them with the undercoat actually while I was doing the stand. But there you go, it's done now. So base coat to start off with on those two mushrooms. Now let me just get some water. My fingers, sorry. Okay. Right, so we've got the mushrooms drying now. I've just put them on a piece of paper. There. Now let's get the stand. And we shall paint the stand. Right, I just need to find a fresh brush, 1 second. Okay, so we've got our paint. If you remember, let's just move some stuff out of the way so you can see. We've got our bird there. You can see the top of its head. Okay. Okay, I'm zooming out a bit there. That's better. That is better. Okay. Oops. Just knocked over mushrooms, like you do. Okay, mushrooms are drying. Let's leave them alone and let's paint this stand while everything else is having a little bit of a dry. This is a lovely colour. It's a great colour. You can do your stand obviously in whatever colour you like. This is just a piece of wood that I had already, this circle. It was the middle of a reef that had been cut out for the kids. It was the centre bit that was missing out the reef. But you could use anything, whatever. You might have a plate or a little plate or something that you could glue on. But that E600 glue is really, really industrial strength. It's good stuff. This is on solid, absolutely solid. And when this is painted, it'll just look like, you know, it was meant to be together, all the same colour. So this probably need 2 coats, but that's okay. Because we need to wait for everything to dry anyway. Okay, so you get the idea. I'm going to paint this all over in this paint, and then I'm going to leave it to dry In fact, I'm going to leave it all to dry, and then we'll come back. In fact, I'll give this 2 coats, okay? You don't need to see me paint it. You know exactly what painting something looks like. So I'm going to paint this in this colour in 2 coats. Okay, then I will come back and I will paint the mushrooms when that base coat is dry, okay? So yeah, next job is to paint the mushrooms. Right, let's get these mushrooms painted. The stand has got its 2nd coat, so that's drying now. So let's paint these mushrooms. Okay, and they've had the 1st coat on, which was just that coat of like a beigey colour, just as a base coat. And now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the top, and I'm going to do the top in red. Okay, we'll make it, we might add it, we might not do, we'll see. We will see what it looks like, but I think it's a nice little touch. And I've got to use MUDLARKING fines, so these are MUDLARKING. Well, I don't have to use MUDLARKING fines, but that is a MUDLARKING fine, the stand, isn't it? But if I can incorporate more, I will do. Oops. So I'm just going to paint the top of these mushrooms red. I do have to wait for the clay to dry on the anyway. So once I've done what I can do here, I'm probably going to have to leave it till tomorrow, which you wouldn't know because it will just be happening in an instant for you. So yeah, let's paint them red. The top one of that one red. Okay, I've painted them both red now, as you can see, just top of it, and then I'll put white dots on when it's dry. I'm just going to give that a few minutes to dry so that I can then do a little bit of a darker beige underneath. Okay, so that's just a few minutes and I should be back in an instant to finish painting these mushrooms. That just took 2 minutes really for that to dry. So I'm just using a darker one for underneath the mushroom, and this is called Gel Brome. I have no idea what colour that is, but there you go. Can you see it? It's dark beige anyway. It's a dark beige. Just to do underneath the mushroom. Don't need a great deal of detail on this. To be honest, the red and the dots sort of tell you what it is. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that to dry for a few minutes, then we can do the red dots on it, and then take it from there really. Right, okay, let's put the dots onto these mushrooms. So I'm just going to paint some on. All sorts of different sizes. The paint I'm actually using is just like a really light yellow, just because I can't find my white. But it doesn't make any difference really. It still looks like a mushroom. Don't forget, they don't have to be perfect little circles. It's a mushroom, and mushrooms are not perfect. You just need to make sure you do all sorts of different sizes. Oops. Okay, there you go. There are our 2 mushrooms, and you know what? They look really nice actually. Sorry, let me just bring it back for the front camera. Move that head. There you go, 2 little mushrooms there. and they actually look really nice and they will dry lovely. And I'm going to pop them definitely in front of that bird. I'm just going to wait for it to dry, then I'm going to glue them on the clay and wait for the clay to dry. And when the clay's dried, I'll come back to you, because I'm thinking maybe we'll cover it in glue and snow. Might use the snow out of this bauble though, which is a bit more, it's a bigger, shinier. Can you see? So that we can tell it's a bit more shinier, and the clumps are a lot bigger. So we'll try that in there, see what it looks like. So for now, just going to leave this to dry, and I will just show you this. It's still drying. I'm just going to glue on mushrooms, just probably one there and one there, something like that. Okay, so I can leave the glue to dry and I can leave the clay to dry all in one go, and that one's almost dry anyway. So yeah, I'll come back when we get ready to do the snow bit at the bottom, and these here will just go up like that when I put the dome on. So even though they flop down now, these are flexible, even though they're stuck, and they can go up like that to go into the dome. So don't worry about that if you think it looks a lot wider. I couldn't get it to stay up while it was drying, so it's fixed at the bottom, so it'll just push up. And I will glue those two mushrooms in now, so that by the time everything's dry, we can just get straight on to decorating it. And I have got some ribbon as well to use, want to use some ribbon somewhere. So yeah, I shall be back in a moment. Actually, before it dries, I've just stuck them on now, and I just wanted to show you. Just wanted to show you now before we get on to the next bit how nice they look. Don't they just look? That is a lovely little addition. Two little knobs that fell off lids. Literally, they're just lid knobs. That's all they were. Like I say, you know, I can use that for craft, and I have. There you go. Used it for a craft. So yeah, I'm just going to let that clay dry now. Probably going to be a few hours. So I'm going to go and feed the kids. Right, the clay is more or less dry there now. I went downstairs and put it under my fire, a little electric fire, and that seems to have done the trick. Okay, so what I've done now is I put a blob of the tacky glue onto a little glass broken tile thing that I had, and I'm going to put some glue. Let me clean a brush. I'm going to put some glue onto the clay and then sprinkle some snow onto it. Hang on, just let me dry this brush. No, I'll tell you what, I'll just get a dry brush. Okay, there we go. Dry brush. I'm just going to put glue. It's white anyway, the clay, so sorry, let me show you. It's white anyway, the clay, so if you miss a bit, you won't be able to tell in that dome. So I've just put some of that glue, like I say, onto this glass tile. I had like a glass tile that I think Sarah number 2 found and gave it to me. So I'm just putting the glue on the clay as thick as I can, really, so that the snow sticks. This is the tacky glue that I'm using. It's not too wet and it dries quite quickly, so I'm moving quite fast with this, really. There we go, nice big clumps of glue, and hopefully I'm going to try with the bigger flakes. Like I said, I've got these bigger flakes. If they don't stick, I will just use the normal fine snow. So let's see if we can pop it into there. It's a bit slanted, doesn't matter. Right, I'm just going to sprinkle it in. These were just this baubles with it in, and I'm going to push it on. Press it down onto the glue. Might put a bit of fine on as well, actually, as it happens. Let's turn it that way. I don't know if you can see. I'm just tipping it on. The thing underneath is just to collect it. Right, so done that, and let's put a bit of fine on as well. I think so, some of the fine stuff just to fill the gaps in. Well, obviously don't hold it by the bird. Oops, right, just shake that off. Okay. Okay, just stick the bird back in. And I think I've lost a leaf somewhere. Oops. And we've now got snow everywhere, but I have lost a leaf somewhere and I have no idea. Oh, there it is. Right, these things happen. Don't hold it by the bird, obviously. Let me just stick it back into that hole. I'm going to stick it in that hole with a bit of glue. So I'm just going to use a bit of this E600 6000 glue. I'm going to stick that into there because that will hold it nicely. It's really good glue, this. Industrial strength glue. Oops, let me get it. E6000. Great glue. Doesn't have a fine nozzle, quite thick and quite industrial. Okay. Right, that has gone on there quite nicely. Let me just get rid of that. Obviously the clay hadn't quite set underneath. Right, okay, let's move this out of the way. Okay, there we go, we've got this. Thinking maybe some lights, actually, maybe some lights on this. I do have one of these, let's pull the tag, one of these things here, the little wire lights. So I think I'm going to put them on. So you can get from Amazon, get these from Amazon, you get about 10 for £13, something like that. You can get fewer amounts for obviously less than that, but it's good value for money. Getting 10 and you'll always use them. You will always use them because they come in very handy. I've used them for quite a few crafts. Okay, so let's unravel this, see what we're working with. These are just absolutely tiny, teeny tiny bulbs on a wire. You can get them in different colours as well. This one is a white one. I have got some blue ones. I thought I'd do blue for a change, but I didn't quite like them. But you can get different colours as well. But yeah, these were off Amazon. And I think Amazon is virtually everywhere in the world, isn't it? So I'm sure you'll get them. Right, okay. Actually, these lights might help hold the foliage up as it goes into the thing. Right, so I am going to... Okay, right. I can always take these lights off if I don't like it. It doesn't hurt, does it, to give it a bit of a go? Just going to wrap it round. And I don't want the bulb, the light. Oh, can I fit this light in here? You know what, I can probably fit this battery pack of the light inside. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's just see what we need to alter. It might be too fiddly getting the lights in. We'll see. Well, actually, you know what? That is actually fine. I haven't finished with it yet, but so far so good. We've got the lights on in there. What I want to do now is I would like to add a bit of this. I would like to add a bit of this tape that says "Let it snow" around the bottom of here. Okay, so I'm just going to measure it by going, sorry, let me move it so you can see it. So it goes around the bottom of the wood there. Just cut it a little bit bigger. Neaten the ends off Sorry, I've just seen what fell on the floor. I don't know what fell on the floor. Right, okay, and I might as well use this tacky glue since I've got it out. I'll put some blobs of tacky glue at different points along this ribbon. At both ends, and then to places all along. This is just like call it grow grain, I think they call it, like a grainy sort of ribbon. I think I might have got it from Hobbycraft. No, I got it from Tesco. Tesco is a supermarket. I just got it from a Tesco, but you can get it anywhere. eBay, Amazon, I'm sure they all sell ribbon. Okay, I'm just gluing it on the wood part of this. Making sure it's nice and tight. Okay, and I think what I'd like to add too is some snowflakes. Now, do I want to add snowflakes, stickers, or big snowflakes? Let me have a look and see what we've got. We've got snowflake stickers there, and snowflakes wooden cutouts here. So I'll show you the wooden cutout ones. Okay. Oh, there's just the stickers, just a sheet of snowflake stickers. Okay, so we're going to use either one of those. Not quite sure which one. Let's try them both, see what they look like. Have I got an open packet of those? Yes, here we go. We've got a packet that's open here. Right, so we've got these wooden ones that we can either, you know what? Forget the sticker ones. The stickers are nice. They were nice on the little dome that I did the other week. But for this substantial piece, I'm going to use these bigger stickers, these bigger things. Right, because I think they look lovely. In fact, that is looking so beautiful. That is looking really nice. Right, what glue? I'm going to use this glue, I think. So let me get something to just scrape the glue off with and put it on the... You can use a skewer for this. Just something so when I squeeze the glue out, just to take it off the end like that. Just gonna take it off onto this thing. Okay, so then just blob it on to the back of there. Okay. In fact, I'm going to open another packet because I want the small ones. And find where I've just put that other packet. Does anyone do that? They have something at the craft table and then they put it down and they immediately can't find it. I do it quite regularly. I found it now. I do it quite often. I quite often put something down and I can tell you sometimes I don't find it again for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I'm sure crafters like Lynn Bean and Lexi B and everybody will know exactly what I'm talking about there. All you crafters, I'm sure do it. You must do. But anyway, we found it now. Right, I only want to use the smaller ones, if I can. Right, just sticking them on at various places around this dome. Gosh, it's like drying straight away, this stuff. Another small one. Maybe another one down there actually, so you can see it a bit at the front. Right, I think that is enough. Don't want to overdo it. Right, I haven't finished yet, but I'm very, very nearly there. We've finished the dome. That can all just dry now. Okay, let me just give you a little bit of a show of that. Okay, we've got the lights, we've got the little mushrooms, we've got the snowflakes, we've got the Let It Snow ribbon there. A lovely little Christmas scene there with a bird. Right, let's come to the pedestal. Oops. The pedestal is now dry. Okay, let me tell you what, I'm going to be very good. I'm going to put those away. Okay, right. Right, so the pedestal is nice and dry. think. Yeah, and as you can see, I don't know if you agree, but I think, oops, sorry, that looks like a great pedestal. I love that colour. I really do. Right, so let's put it on, because I have got an idea. Right. You know what? That looks fabulous. That looks so fabulous. Can you imagine that on the centre of your table? That'd be brilliant. And you could change the domes, actually. You could do like a different season, a different dome, something with pumpkins in. You could do, I don't know, something with flowers in. You could change by making different domes. So, right, there you go. We've got that. But I think this stand just needs something else. Something that you can take off. Okay, so you can use this stand for all the seasons. So, my idea was, I'm thinking something like that on it, with the berries in the foliage. Okay, on a bit of wire around there, so you can easily take it off when you want to change your dome. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay, just put the dome, try and get it out of the way so it's not catching your eye. Okay, we've got our dome, got our foliage. To remove that, actually, move that there, you can still see it. Right, how do we want? Right, I'm going to do it with wire. So I've got some black wire. Don't forget, we want to do it in a way that we can undo it. So I'm going to leave a bit of wire at the end. I'm just trial and error. I don't know how I'm going to attach this. Okay, I'm just going to twist it around and see how we go. Right, that's round one, leaving that end free. So what do you think? Maybe attach it all like this and hold it to it and see if it works. If we just do one wrap around like that and see if that will go around it. And one more. Sorry, I'm just wrapping it around. Just wrapping it around to attach them all on like chain. I might have to adjust it, but for now, look, we've got our little row of bells and fern. Let's just, oh, not scissors. Don't cut wire with your scissors. Use your wire cutters, which are these pliers. Okay, they've got a bit of a wire cutter at the bottom there. Right, so let's see. We might have to give it a bit of an adjust. Yeah, that one can go a bit closer. They don't need to be quite so far apart. See, so we've still made the strand. Let's put that there. Here we go. If you were going to keep it just as a Christmas one, you could just glue them on. You could just glue it. But because I want to use this for different things, I'm going to just tie it on. Just needs making a bit smaller still. Sorry, I'm just putting these a little bit closer. This is quite fiddly. Oh my word, it's very fiddly. Right, let's try again. Fiddly, fiddly. Oh my god, it fell off. Oh my word. Yeah, I can see why someone would want to permanently glue that on and not do it with wire, because that is very, very fiddly. And I have obviously just made that look very, very complicated. Okay, right, no, that's better. That is much better. Oh, right, okay. Right, so we've got this on there like so, which actually looks really nice. Yeah, a little. But there's a big gap here. I can either put another one on or... Let me see what I've got. What have I got? I've got quite a few Christmassy bits, you see, so I'm going to put that on. I'm going to thread the wire through it. I can't do it forwards to you, unfortunately. I can try and do it that way, but I've just twisted the wire around, okay, to hold that on. Now I'm going to put the wire through this, okay, and that wire up through there as well, okay, and then I'm going to just put it around the back. Oops, oh, I've just broke it. Sorry, I'm going to do that again. I've got another one. Going to do that again without breaking it. Sorry, that's heavy hands. Right, I'm just going to cut that wire a bit shorter and hope that I've got another snowflake. I have snowflakes that are outside in the bag. I'm just going to go and get another snowflake because my heavy hands have just broke that one. Don't forget, I like to show you where, warts and all, when things go wrong. You could, of course, glue it on and just have it permanently as a Christmas stand. I don't want to because I think I might want to use it as something else. So let's try again with another snowflake. So carefully put the wires through. Okay, learn from my mistakes. Then pop the wire round the back. That will hold it on. Just sort of hide it amongst the foliage. Let's have a look at that. Just rearrange those on there. Actually, there's the stand. We've got the snowflake at the front, okay. That looks a lot better without the broken snowflake. And we've got the foliage with the bells all the way around it. And we've got it put on with wire so that, so that we can take it off and reuse it for another occasion. Do we want anything else? No, we don't want anything else on there. Okay, that stand is ready. I'm going to say it's finished because I can't think of anything else to do with this. So let me put it with the snowflake at the front. Okay, there we go. And there we have the finished piece. Let me bring it back a little bit. We've got a little winter bird in a lovely winter cage that can go either, I don't have a table, so it can go on my sideboard in the middle and have any Christmassy stuff around it. But there you go, a little globe decorated in a little snowy scene with a little bird. Don't forget, it's got two little mushrooms in there that were two little knobs off lids that were painted, and the other MUDLARK find was the base here. It was a glass base and painted it. So there you go, another Christmas craft done. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when we put any videos up. And also don't forget, if you really enjoyed it, we have got the Ko-fi link down below which you can donate the price of a coffee to us, and we appreciate it very much. Thanks for watching. Bye.